Sierra Leone. Push. You my killer, this is for them. Hope for you, sir.
This ain't not a kush. No, not a kush. No, not a kush. Oh yeah, I can feel them. What are they on me eye? We are the see me sister them. They die in the street. Oh, me I can feel them. When they see me brother them na streets. Yeah, some they link they not. Some lay down a guns at the sleep. Oh. So when I ask, they tell me say na kush. Nike pull roll and son of them food. They prefer for left the horse them gonna get so all day they kush. Oh yeah, say not a kush. Me brother don't want before in them. Say not a kush. So we they use the old age man young. Say not a kush. The youths them just they die. Say not a kush. Sorry we say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Papa government help we are. Say that's a cushion. Hey, push for die. Say that's a cushion. Hope for you to say, is it all?
Me fumble them. On a good evening, on a good afternoon, on a good morning. I hope say any side also on a fan on a safe. I hope say una they do well. I hope say the week has been good to you guys. I hope say una get a productive week. And now una they wind down, forget much needed rest, right? For kick off the coming week. Well, today we get Boku for talk about, but mainly waiting we get for Sidon Pan. I think say nothing way for concern we all Sierra Leonean them. Whether you they live at the diaspora or whether you they live in a salon. And the reason we make us say again for concern we all, I will tell you later as we sit down inside the program Tigi. But I go make Mr. Jam say
I think we lost her. Oh, she's frozen. Why?
okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm here, yeah.
You were frozen for some second, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been there say something before you freeze. What was it?
But I just want to make you tell Fambul then I do,
Okay.
and I don't know what's in the
Crumble them on a good evening, on a good afternoon, good morning, wherever on a day, on a cabo for the Yagba, a cabo, as Yoruba say. The world full of Yagba, so for try. Not for give up. Oh, giving up is not in the mix. It's not an option.
yes. Giving up is not an option. I agree with Mr. Jamboria. You know, this week was kind of a little bit of a hard week for me. I'm not gonna lie, you know, career wise, work wise, health wise, family wise, like all around it was a bit of a hard week, but notwithstanding, we're alive, we're kicking, so they said so long as there is life, there is hope, right? So that's the mantra we should go by. So long as there is life, there is hope. So this evening, Sam, as soon as all they see the topic, we don't hear this thing here. They go on Air Salone, Air Sierra Leone. Let me pronounce it properly, not to Air Salone, Air Sierra Leone, right? It's like say Salone self one begin operate their own fleet. their own Boeings them. And when I say Boeing, for the layman way they listen to me, that board we can fly outside people linking sit down inside. So that board. Or not to na airplane na in them call them airplane, but I remember what I been small. What I been small, me granny been get for rub me much small na wall because I allow other people them for influence me pronunciation of airplane. I knew it was spelled airplane, and so I would say airplane. But then I will go to school and come back, and also in my neighborhood, right? People that I grew up with will be saying aeroplane, aeroplane. Yeah, the aeroplane, so me self with me big fool. I thought the word wrong pronunciation kind of Creole host. They go say aeroplane. I mean granny gather me one day. Say, come here, girl. With me big full of advance. Now I say, what did I just hear you say? What did you now I say aeroplane. Now and me granny been get very when I say the most pristine handwriting. Her handwriting in dexterity was so beautiful. So she spelled it out and then she goes, call it out. And I called it out airplane, right? Airplane. And then she said, what did you say before? And I said, aeroplane. They robbed me much, me cannot lie. They robbed me much. So from that day, I make that mistake again. To be influenced by society and change what I see to be A. So all of a sudden, be looking like W. I just want to that.
That was a conservative bullying.
Yes. I just want you that small joke there no more. But we get three things there for discuss. The first two things then we go through them in rapid succession, and then we go sit down inside this topic here so proper. We may not have all, as a matter of fact, we do not have all the answers because a lot of confusion still sit down inside the business. A lot of clarity still need to be made. So as things they unfold and as we hear more, we go try for so and can tell una waiting we hear. Because it is always important to make informed decisions, not to so. But before we sit down inside proper, like what we can say, elections have consequences. Elections have consequences, period. Whether you party where you vote for, na in kind of power, or the party where you not vote for, na in kind of power, world over, elections have consequences. Like we saw in Canada, it is quite possible that we are gearing up for an election, right? It is quite possible. It's looking, it look like that. It don't begin, they look like that. More and more and more. And a lot of people fear that if the conservative come in, a lot of waiting and they enjoy right now will be immediately cut off. Because some people them not up till now not able to recover it from some of the policies them where the last conservative government make. Where some maintain now not able getting substantive. And waiting I mean by in substantive. Say if you work at the federal government or you work for the federal government, the last government cut boku positions them a lot of reshuffle were done, and some people were affected by it. Some people received severance packages, meaning that even though they not reach the term for retire age, but if they close to retirement, then send them packing. Some were not prepared for that because retirement is a whole process. There's a whole timeline people will take for prepare for that. Some man find themselves in a single income household. Some man find themselves that then go on sabbatical. By the time they come back, their work wasn't guaranteed. They did not have work security anymore. There is so much, even me, because at the time when that happened, I was graduating. The job will be not already lined up for me. I lost that job and a lot of other jobs as a result of the policy we come in place. So finding a job at that time wasn't the most easiest. I mean, they go from contract to contract to contract to contract. One of the most, I think, frustrating things them way I even experienced in my own personal life. Because just imagine, I was a top brass student, graduated top brass in my undergrad. In my master's, graduated top brass. In my work, internship, top brass. And then for just be faced with something like that, it peel off you in another way. But thank God that I come from a background where don't prepare me solidly. I get a lot of preparation for handle certain things, and my faith as well, right? My faith carried me through all those difficult times until I finally able for land the job and position and everything that I did, consulted internationally, did all sorts of things and what have you. But through it all, I say thanks to the Almighty, but it is not an easy thing to go through. So all this to say, like I continue to say, that election have consequences. And right now, I think say one of the consequences in the US election is already unfolding. I want to do a disclaimer even before I go inside this. And I want to make una all where they watch me, una know for say we get to a North American toll-free number. When I 1-866-944-7722. We get to a UK local call when a +4420 808-91-455. We get to Australian local line as well when a +61 29 098 4337. We get to the universal line, the WhatsApp line. You can call from anywhere in the world when a 1-343 997 5828. And don't forget say okay, always listen to the show now, the VOS radio in Freetown 91.9 FM. Don't forget to download the VOS mobile app on Google and Play Store. And remember say I say December they come. At the beginning of the year, I tell una for say I get for do jam me and catch you. Catch me and knock you back up. I am serious. I no go tell una when I go appear, now that make una need for day. So the day I go appear, una no go say, hey, Matilda anchor. I know they do anchor. Me I know they reverse go behind, and the driver they drive go forward. Okay. So I want to do a disclaimer from this video because this was a discussion among journalists and panelists about a new law where the court of the US Supreme Court don't vote into order. So they don't vote them into order. It don't pass. As far as me concerned, I don't think say there is much that can be done about it, really. I think say it's just a matter of implementation now. And that is, una know for say, before na the US say if you married, your spouse, you get right for sponsor your spouse for can join you, right? It happens all over the world, even in Canada. If you're married, your spouse then another country, you're not a Canadian citizen or you're not a US citizen, you sponsor your spouse or your family, right? It's called family reunification visa or family reunification sponsorship, right? So now, to be fair, I don't know when this legislation was tabled. So I not go just put them as a consequence of, unless we find out, say, this na something wey happen during, the incoming regime, na one of them policies them. But I will find it hard because the swearing not take place yet. However, una members say the judges them where they sit down, where they decide them thing. And so right now the majority of the judges them are Republicans them. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 out of them judges then they were appointed by the incoming elected President Trump. So whatever they might be doing now, as well as they are there to serve, not conscience, judges are not there to serve conscience. They are then they for make sure say whatever law they enact or whatever decision they make, it is in the best interest of the country, or right, best interest of the country, period. However, the way where this decision has to go, you go on for ask yourself, say, is this in the best interest of the country? Is this some form of punitive behavior that they are going to start? And when I say punitive behavior, like say for punish people then. Because now basically waiting this lawyer, so they say now you get rights for married, but the right for make you bring your spouse car inside, for sponsor your spouse for make you all today inside one roof, inside one house, when a spouse has sponsorship of family reunification. I believe they have repealed that. Repeal when means say they don't pull and come out, right? Now the immigration law. Then they go get a lot of consequences then. And I know for say it will affect Sierra Leoneans then, as well as other nationalities then. So the very thing we make Donald Trump, or the current, the president-elect, right? The very thing we make, and I hope say people will fight against this. I hope say there will be a resistance and that this thing will be revised. Because the very thing we afford them for bring somebody like in wealth, Melania Trump in family them, or for which Melania self able bring young people like inside. At that very law day now, then they say good do. Elections have consequences. I want to do a disclaimer that this video from MSNBC is being used for educational purposes and educational purposes only. And so therefore, we ask that we fully acknowledge the source of the video and we are not using it in any abridgment contrary to their policies or law. It's just for educational discussion. So we go roll the tape now.
There was a Supreme Court case today
Yes.
where the 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court ruled that you do not have the right to give a green card to your spouse. If
Right.
you marry a spouse who's from another country, they don't automatically get a right to green card. Amy Coney Barrett wrote that while the right to marry is fundamental, the right to live with your spouse is not.
Yeah.
That was the 6-3 conservative court today. And of course, I'm reading the case screaming, Melania, Melania, like as I'm reading the case, because the exact rule that Trump used to bring Melania and her whole family over to this country is what the Supreme Court said was not a fundamental right today. That was 6-3. That was 3 Republican justices that were appointed by Trump at the very time where this is
Many
all
of
happening.
whom are also the grandchildren or children of immigrants. But isn't it a fun world we live in?
There was a Supreme Court case today
Yes.
where the 6-3 conservative majority on the Supreme Court ruled that you do not have the right to give a green card to your spouse. If
Right.
you marry a spouse who's from another country, they don't automatically get a right to green card. Amy Coney Barrett wrote that while the right to marry is fundamental, the right to live with your spouse is not.
Yeah.
That was the 6-3 conservative court today. And of course, I'm reading the case screaming, Melania, Melania, like as I'm reading the case, because the exact rule that Trump used to bring Melania and her whole family over to this country is what the Supreme Court said was not a fundamental right today. That was 6-3. That was 3 Republican justices that were appointed by Trump at the very time where this is
Many
all
of
happening.
whom are also the grandchildren or children of immigrants. But isn't it a fun world we live in?
There was a Supreme Court case.
Okay, so basically there were a Supreme Court case don't rule say and unayeri one of the judges them in own dissent, in own opinion where he posits is that yes, you get right for marriage. You can marry anybody where you want, but not a fundamental right for make you bring the person where you married can tap usayude. I.e. usayude right now, primarily, predominantly, and solely speaking of in this case, the USA, the United States of America. So I believe there are 9 Supreme Court judges in America, 3 of whom were appointed by Donald Trump, and then the other 3 that have been there long-serving, long-standing appointees. So the dissent out of the 9 Supreme Court judge, which I believe maybe the other 3 were Democrats, the dissent was 6-3. So 6 of the Supreme Court judges then side with the idea, because this is not a perception anymore, this now an idea, a policy, because once they don't put and down, it becomes a policy sided with the notion, right? Because for do them thing and so now you remove a notion, sided with the notion that it is no longer a fundamental right for anybody, immigrants, because this law mainly targets immigrants, because now they mostly, I know they say American, born American, white, Anglo-Saxon Americans, them, nor they marry outside. Of course, they intermarry. We don't see them a lot. Like I can always say, my family is a typical representation of the United Nations. All creed and tribe be defend inside it, and we like it that way. That you cannot sponsor that your beloved anymore with a green card, so the spousal sponsorship, then don't rule and say it is not a fundamental. Married do that you want for married, but you don't get for bring and can away country. And funnily enough, like I say, Melania and that Lord in I epanka inside. Funnily enough, me not in a US and me not a US citizen, but if I can go through the background, and when I say the background, now I am talking about the DNA, right? The family and roots of them people in there, many of them are grandchildren or sons or daughters of immigrants. So now they don't so now forget about what that country afforded their grandparents for them to even be called American citizen and serve at one of the highest offices of the land. And now then they deny that opportunity to other people then. Mr. Jamboria, what do you think about this ruling?
First and foremost, I strongly believe the ruling where the present government engineer. Because the Supreme Court now just take a decision just like that. There are procedures that should have been followed. And the use of the word fundamental rights, we have to be careful about it. Fundamental rights normally they translate as human rights in national law. And the other thing we'll get for notice that United States as a federation, even though they get certain decisions where they can take in Washington, as long as it's not a constitutional issue, because the right to immigration normally is not a constitutional issue, it's by statute. As long as it's not a constitutional issue, I think the states then get the power for come with their own policy. What they make they draw this argument is that even in Norway, we have a similar situation. In automatic say, you can go marry somebody outside Norway because you're a Norwegian citizen, you go Canada. Then get certain fundamental issues where you get for take into consideration. Within the debate now make clear is what are the other provisions? They would not cut off people coming to meet their spouse. They will not cut off giving green cards. But there are certain fundamental issues where they assume today, where now they know they assume. And I believe say one of them will be the economic status of the person.
But the ruling was clear that spouses are no longer eligible to, like, it's no longer an eligibility or right for a spouse to apply for green card. It was very specific green card
Yes,
for their
yes. It's
spouse.
no longer automatic like it used to be. Now, so me understand. I'm saying all because now, before this ruling, if your spouse they get permanent stay on a citizen, when you come, you automatically get right for apply for a green card. But that's no longer the case. They not make clear the other provisions, and they not even talk about the ability of individual states for apply that law they or not apply them. You see, we are going through times in the world where we have to be careful about arguments with people and they put up. There is too much fear mongering in the world. We now look at certain fundamentals. You may want to ask, why did Latinos vote for? They are foreigners. You understand? Now we be careful how they pass judgment for some of the issues, yeah, because everybody now they look at the world from a perspective where very materialistic. The governments them, then judgments them very materialistic. Before you come to Norway and have family unification with state assistance. But now they require you forget certain basic minimum amount now your bank account before they go allow one person for come. You get for do DNA tests and such things where applicable. These are all the issues where I think say we get for take into consideration. Those guys preaching that message on that channel, then get their own perception about the rule. America get their own perception. What in normal me fear is such rulings may be grossly misapplied if you get a regime like you are already coming right now. So I think it will be in the best interest of everybody within America now for begin look out for alternatives as to what to do so that you don't fall foul of the law. Because my own fear about the United States is not about these laws. It's about the misuse and the abuse of the law, especially with some of the faces they all don't begin to surface for appointments. It is send cold chills to people. People can respect the law. People at the same time may choose not to respect the law and do as they like. We see it happening in our country. So we therefore be careful about then judgments there are. And at the same time, we therefore talk to we people them, especially Sierra Leoneans living in the United States. Because some of them laws here are product of certain observation where the government they make about certain people and behavior in society. It has happened in Norway. Then they restrict immigrants there now because of certain things them where them find out about immigrants coming to Norway. People and they go take people saying at them wef, where them come, then scatter. People and they go take people and say na them picking, where then come, then scatter. So now they don't put laws if you take out you picking now for do DNA test. We therefore be careful. But at the same time, we therefore seek the interest of people them, let them know say that days of saying this is my right, it don't change. We are living in a new world. In as much as the governments in Africa and our dictators, we don't see dictatorship, the Kamusa will feel say enough for day. So therefore be careful.
True, but I want to read some facts them where we just pull up. I just want to go and read quickly about the states, the role of the federal state. If we producer can go back to the first slide, I'll read through it briefly because then they're not so. Immigration in the United States is primarily a federal policy. Here is an overview of how it works. So federal, so if I look at federal now, so federal means for say the seats of government, right? So the overarching, not to a municipal, not to a state, not to so a federal like national policy. Just same here as it is here in Canada. But now we are looking at the state. So the Constitution grants the federal government exclusive power to regulate immigration. Congress has the authority to establish laws regarding naturalization and immigration. Federal agencies such as the Department of Homeland Security, including the sub-agencies like the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, and Immigration and Customs and Border Protection, manage immigration processes, enforcement, and border control. So, federal immigration laws such as the Immigration and Nationality Act outline the legal framework for immigration policies, including visa categories, deportation procedure, and so again, basically, if we boil down to this, the individual states have no say in this ruling because it is a federal. Because immigration, nationality, nationality, and all of that is managed by the federal, right? So federal courts, and then you say states and local role. While immigration is a federal responsibility, states and local governments can have what's that word? Is it
Ancillary.
auxiliary?
Ancillary.
Ancillary role. So it's like a second hand role, right? They do not dictate, they do not impose, they do not come up, but like it's like they can recommend kind of, but at the end of the day, the decision rests within the federal quarters. So states and localities may pass laws that affect immigration indirectly, such as laws regarding employment, education, housing, and access to social services. Some states and cities implement policies to cooperate or not cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, etc. Sanctuary city policies, like, and sanctuary city policies, for people they don't where they don't know, are people the way they escaped, people the way they try for find asylum, people them way they come illegally into countries them like Canada, like this certain provinces, and they were and cities within the provinces, and they were in a sanctuary city, mean to say if you did it really, the risk for deportation is very low, right? And then they then call sanctuary cities. States issue driver's license, and some states allow undocumented immigrants to apply for them, right? So basically, me waiting at the try for saying so is that once a federal policy comes down, as to the application of that federal policy, sometimes, like they say, auxiliary role, the state can have auxiliary role, its application within the state. Sometimes, we know we people them, and we know mortal man, they like for take advantage. You give them veranda, they want to go inside the parlor, right? And I'm in fear right now that that's what's about to happen in the US. But at the end of the day, me just want to bring this to people them attention, say that listen, if you are eligible to get your citizenship, please, people, don't waste time. Go get your citizenship. I talked last week. Go get your citizenship before the 19th of January. Now make sure say before the 19th of January 2025, they don't swear una in as US citizen. Like I pledge my allegiance to blah blah blah. Please do that. I dey beg una. Because even the holding of the green card right now serves not to a guarantor or a guarantee for say you are safe. Now that they no more maybe want to touch on this. I don't know if Mr. Jamboria got anything. I want to move on to the next
I think
subject.
you've said it all. What if you want to look at clear normal say the states then can come with their own policy? And as much as the federal now then get back the control over the law, that sanctuary situation can be interpreted in any way. It's a situation I've dealt with in Norway. I know the implications. It can be very complex, but when you meet somebody who gets a humanitarian heart, he gets a way where they interpret the law. And once in at the senior immigration person, you don't interpret them, final. There's no question about it. But when you meet somebody, when no one see you, well, you are done. This is the world we live in.
Sometimes the people they don't go for visa, how many times, this, that, and then one day they meet a Soyat person where, and then sometimes people then go where they self know for say inside them, they are not going to get it. But then things work out for them. But all I am saying is that we live in a very uncertain world right now, very uncertain time. And so to me, young people, them, especially with salon people, them, we are procrastinators. We like for procrastinate. Una know how do time usai we come on to so. Una know the breeze where they blow usai we come out. So do ya at the begunu. At the begunu. Do the needful for yourself and for your families. Now make a move over to the next.
Before we go to the other issue, me if I get chance for no then to look there, Talk boy supporters in America will get green card. If Donald Trump said that they deport them, you make let them deport them.
They are,
You know that the
no,
America is support SLPPC, don't they? We they cancel.
no, me not go do that. And the
That's
reason
not
we
a
make
joke.
me not
It's
go do,
not a joke. Don't take it
I know,
serious.
I know, but for the people them we not go take them as joke. Please, this is a joke. It is not something we wish on anybody,
Nah,
but
it's not
sometimes
a joke.
we have to make a
Joke.
lot of certain situation. Yeah. So the next topic where I want to go into is that I should say on all don't see this by now. On all definitely for don't know say just as was it 2 weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago, really, where I introduced the topic of the election, the electioneering for 2028. The campaign season is officially open, and people then they ask me, say, according to whom? I say, according to Matilda J. And I go bring una the 40. And then I just analyze phone more. But I get for cancel them and we get for do the analysis of the 14 potential. Because right now, na 14 we know for sure. And then at some point, we get for sit down back and do the analysis of the 20 potential from the other side, right? So that when I not go say, we not be no, Matilda, you not talk about, you not been tell we oh this, that. No, I'm here to talk. I'm here to tell you people, don't hate me for it. I'm still your sister, right? I don't have a political party. My political party is Sierra Leone. So the day where I go decide for go on for election, make matter be okay to me. The day I go decide for one for
China will get independent candidacy at end.
me party, me party, me party go name Sierra Leone. The green, white, and blue. Anyways, let me be serious. But no, for sure, definitely one of these days we're going to go through the list of the 14. But like I tell una on that day where I do this analysis, I also tell una for say a cabinet reshuffle or nomination or whatever is looming. I tell una for say it's just a matter of time. Give it maybe a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and you would see it. And so definitely it don't happen. But even as much as waiting not happen, so right now we una see because waiting they happen right now is a system of compensation, right? Either compensation for you have tried, you have done well, you've been consistent in a good way that have maybe benefited that or maybe go benefit some of the people them or the people of Sierra Leone, or compensation for you have been consistent, you don't try in your bad behavior and in sustaining, whatever that needs to be sustained. And so therefore right now, 21 gun salute, make a compensate you. Right? Now, I think in one of these compensation, waiting me find in all of the names them waiting I really find interesting. I think now the make I call the names them first. Make I read this press release. Make I read this press release. So this press release, a Government of Sierra Leone, Office of the President, State House, public notice. The general public is hereby informed that it has pleased His Excellency the President Brigadier Julius Madabio to announce the following appointments. So Mr. John Abu, resident minister southern region. Una know Udana John Abu not so. I no need for tell una than John Abu and the role where he don't play for sustain the machine of the SLPP, right? Ambassador Amara S. Sowa, ambassador to Washington, DC, United States of America. So we mean for say the person we currently did that man where I say from where he come. He forget say he also they represent Canada, and it no matter which
Matilda. Sometimes that's
sir.
not the man. I say before they go before. Sometimes they don't change them because even this press release not mention and Canada. Me and you know say the US, the American Washington, and for them Canada, but it's not mentioned in this even in this press release.
Exactly. They're not changing, sir. I can tell you that for sure. Say they're not changing. I am very active within the Sierra Leone community here. Not only now the province where are they, but also in other Sierra Leonean organization or association. If even self I make up my mind say I not to take any executive role, but my no is always on the touch point. So they're not change them. Then we get an honorary council when a white man we been done with a salon, and I have always spoken up against that. But again, I understand the policies and politics behind some of these decisions. And at the end of the day, if we are not willing to do good for ourselves and stamp our own authority, it is what it is. But waiting I know is that for the title ambassador, that we do not have an ambassador to Canada. Like I said, we get an honorary council. And so therefore the ambassador to Washington or the United States also covers Canada. And not only Canada it cover, it also cover other countries as well, as far as me know, even for the last appointment of this man. But like I said, he's a man who aligned himself with certain people, certain types of ideology and what have you. And I can say it openly because for me, it was a mark of disrespect that you serve and one country, you completely ignore that country there. You completely, everything what you they do, you focus not being just on one set of people, one set of ideology. You pretend as if that country there is non-existing and what have you. Which was a shame because he really missed an opportunity to get to know the great Canada and the people of Sierra Leone within the great Canada, and me no go shy away from talking about it. Others may shy away from talking about it, but I will not. I know that on several occasions, official letters were sent to him. Not only were those letters not acknowledged, but it's as if we never existed. I don't know if not because we not agree for go participate na the Zoom meeting where them get with David Francis about entrepreneurship. You have not engaged with us. You have to engage with the people. You not just they come and can invite them na a political session, a stage political session, and you think people are fools to drop their lives and everything that they are doing to go honor your invitation when you've been there and you've never engaged with them. Relationships are built. And it takes time and trust to build those relationships. But anyway, this is not off topic. Anyways, he's been replaced. I'm sure they will compensate him with something else. Now the next person at the list, in name na. Can you make it bigger, please? I can't see. Okay. So the next person at the list now, Madam Michaela B.E. Swallow. And in position where they get a deputy permanent representative legal United Nations. So basically this clearly, listen, let's call a spade a spade. We know for say this is not a compensation post because for somebody who was at the helm of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, where basically during in tenure she did nothing. She just basically like roller coastered, ride along, coast along, not ruffle any feathers, fly under the radar, and then help for create the biggest chaos within the bar association that has now led to the formation of a proxy, law society within the country. This was her handwork. This was her doing. And so you compensate bad behavior and bad modeling with what? with financial remuneration and status. Hey, listen, if that's how you choose to run the country, God be with you all and God bless you, because none of what you do is affecting any of us sitting here. Because at the end of the day, if a family member comes and say, hey, Matilda, things are tough, things are bad, the bad thing are able to catch something and say, yeah, manage this way. So, but me, my own personal life will not be affected, because I will still get life 24/7. I will still get gas for putting in motor car, no matter what. I will still run air conditioner during the summer season. I will still live my life. I will still have access to a good GP, a general practitioner. I will still have access to the best hospital, the best doctors. I will still have all of these access. I will still have access to good road system. And if even the weather condition bad, then go still make sure say I not perish. So if that's how you want to run it, go ahead. Be my guest, people. The next person way the how them call them promote is Mr. Kalilu Tutange, Deputy Permanent Representative Political, United Nations as well. To know Kalilu is to know that he's a die SLPP, he's been in SLPP forever and amen. To know Kalilu is to also know that when they talk about the day one army of the current government. And when I say the current government, I'm not talking about the current formation of the government. I'm speaking of the personhood of Madabio himself. To know Kalilu, you will know that these people have been fast and furious for decades. This is not an alliance or a situation that just happened as a matter of compensation. You would know that this man has put in blood, tears, and sweat and more into that party. And I am not only speaking because of whatever, I'm talking because I'm at the talk of waiting and not for the fact. So at some point, people will see this as a compensation. I do not see it as a compensation. I see it as a deserving. You don't walk, 10 they run, make I tell you thank you. And this is a thank you, well deserving. I have no issues with that. The other person, Madam Mamadi, Bogby Kamara. Okay, I know they see the last letter. It's very small. Gobe, okay, that NGOB. Okay, Gobe Kamara. So Deputy Ambassador, Paris, France. I don't know much about this individual, so I cannot speak much about her role, responsibility, what she has contributed or not contributed. I don't know if not a compensation. I don't know if not a promotion or demotion. Professor Dr. Joe Edi Ali. I mean, somebody where we all know, if you have ever been in the academic world in Sierra Leone, you definitely know for say presidential librarian and archivist, you definitely know the contribution of Professor J.D. Ali, the book that we don't read. Very controversial individual, I may add. Very controversial individual. I do not always agree with his edicts, meaning that I do not always agree with what he pens down on papers and the way he sees things. But at the end of the day, as a professor is always a researcher. His job is to research and write. So the man is only doing what, his calling is. So I cannot give him grief. We can agree to disagree. I can challenge his ideas, his perception, views, and whatever. But in order for me to do that, I can either do it openly like I'm doing now, but to really get into the bottom and thrust of, I go get for going to theory, right? I go get for really for make offset or debunk what they say. I go get for going to theory, and that means that I also have to take pen to paper and publish, right? We're not here for that. I ain't got time for that. So grosso modo, I see many of these nominations as compensation, as a matter of fact, if not compensation, I see them as chican. You don't do well. Thank you, cabo. Mr. Jamboria, what do you think?
I see them from a different perspective, ma.
Go ahead, sir.
The compensation angle may be correct, but the people of Sierra Leone, they underrate Julius Maada. How they plan before he do something. These appointments he's making, now the people them we get for can clean image, for give him legitimacy in the international eye, so that he go continue for do what he do. I may not know all of them, but I know some of them. Like Kalilu Totange is my friend. I know I sabi talk. I made them send him
Well,
as
yeah,
police.
as a matter of fact, if I not caught you just as you mentioned, if you people think Michaela Swallow is a lawyer and can defend, as a matter of fact, when I can see say in defense or put up of an act, she's very weak. If una don't ever dey in front of Kali, the person where Mr. Jamboya just mentioned in front of Kalilu, like all things set aside, me I can always tell una, I will tell una the truth, right? Regardless of how I feel or regardless of what I think about the person, Kalilu is a whiz when it comes to communication. As a matter of fact, Nadande na in background, Nadande is study communication and media. As a matter of media, to be precise, Kalilu is a whiz when
He
it comes
knows
to
how to pass his
Kalilu.
message.
If una feel to say waiting have been the former communication minister, the one who say gets the gift of the gab. What was his name again? What was this guy's name again? I don't forget the name, but the immediate former, I think now is in welfare or something like that. I'm not even sure.
Soiree,
Pardon me?
Rado Soiree.
Rade Soiree, exactly. If una been fail to say Rade Soiree,
Rado is an apprentice.
if
When he
una been
come
fail
back,
to say Rado Soiree sabi talk, well, you are seeing someone who is learning. If una been fail to say Rado Soiree sabi talk, you are seeing an amateur. And I'm being honest with you people. If you have been failed to say Rado Soiree sabi talk and sabi twist and sabi, do PR stunts and sabi, confuse people then, you were seen an amateur. I know who I'm talking about.
I know.
This
I know
person where it
Kalilu
comes
personally, he
to
know me
the UN,
personally.
when I say he is a whiz, he is a whiz. When I say it's a bit right, it's a bit communicate, it's a bit pontificate, trust me, I know what I talk about. So yes, I will tend to agree with Mr. Jamboria where he talks say this might be very strategic appointment
It's
because
very.
when
And
I talk, this person can engage on all level, on all platform without sweating. Composure A1. Make we continue.
Looking at this list, I get two other questions.
Yes, sir.
Why are we having a presidential librarian and archivist? Don't we see social
Because there are
engineering?
certain because there are certain truths that needs to be told and needs to be written, and maybe Professor Joe Ali is the one to write those truths
You
according
know he's
to
writing. You know he's writing. You know he's writing. I have challenged his writings. There have been a lot of interpretation of the historicity of Sierra Leone that are not correct by him. This is some act of deliberate social engineering stunt. Now, therefore, they look at Madabio in actions them from that peripheral point of view. They know what they are doing, and they are doing it how they want to do it. If you ask me, then they do something what you call strategic radicalization of Sierra Leone. But they are not doing it for a constructive purpose. They are deconstructing Sierra Leone to create a Sierra Leone they want. They're not do this by accident. And I get a question.
yes,
Why
sir.
do we need an embassy in Paris when we have one in Brussels where they cover the European Union? Because I see and I appoint ambassador in another notice will be come out, one Mohammed Khan.
Ambassador and a
Then they
permanent
appoint a deputy back.
and you also have an ambassador, plus that person also doubles as a permanent representative to the UN in Geneva.
Okay. And it cover European Union, the one in Brussels.
Yes.
Okay. So why do we need an ambassador in Paris? What is there that we may not be seeing at this point in time? Then tie her up with the Finance Act. All the holy bolly about Finance Act, increasing rest tax. It's all about having money to pay or take care of these bloated wage bills. A country where they're in stagflation, no need to get all them plenty appointments here.
And so I'm asking, what now happens to the wage bill? Do we actually have a wage bill, or has the wage bill been X? Like, it don't even matter anymore. Like,
Do we even
nobody
have a wage bill,
controlling
really,
the
Matilda?
fiduciary. Like, there's no fiduciary responsibility anymore in the state. Is that it?
The first question: do we have a wage structure in Sierra Leone, or is it a compensation structure that we have? We need for Mr. Cabo for discuss that at one program, because it gets a lot of implication on the economic growth and stability in the country. When you pay people, the majority of the people, slave wages, then you pay a few people bloated wages. You they block the distribution of income in the society. You they block consumption. Then a lot of other things they go wrong. Now it lead to this stagflation. Now then they give other people them new offices. Yes, some of these offices may be necessary. One like Kalilu in office, I not get question over that. There has always been that office. But why do we have to have a double with the special word around legal?
And the funny thing is that there is someone, I'm not going to call her name. She's a, she was working for the government, and then she was recently appointed to the United Nations and works within the legal team there. So I'm just wondering, and she's a very astute lawyer, trained in England, trained in the US, trained, passed the bar in Sierra Leone, worked in Sierra Leone for a while, and now was posted to the UN and is working within UN. And I know her capacity, and I'm asking myself, well, if this person is already there, why do we need this other one there?
I will be little surprised if I slap the UN. Because
Mr. Jamboria, it is not politics that caused the slap, okay? It is disrespect that leads somebody to slap another person.
Okay. For each United Nations.
Not about people and they get this slappy as so wrong. Not politics or political party or political dispute cause the slap. Now, a mark of disrespect to certain person would not cause the correction by a slap.
Now, United Nations, they get two lawyers. One can't make sense. I mean, the other go chop slap. Take your call.
Kola, what did I name and who say the call from, please?
Well, Mina Umaru. I they call from New York.
Okay, I'm not speaking in New York, but
hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Mina part of the president in delegation with some bloggers away go for go teach for go learn how for camp plant rest na salon.
All right.
On the more seriousness, that country they not joke. And we see other side, president, then they take journalists, they take other people, and they go to other country. We own country, we president, take a blogger, social media blogger on national trip. See then they go land out for camp plant rest na salon. Matilda, maybe you go to watch the video. SL News. Madam, you get the bull mind, take SL News. Put on part of the entourage. For go land Iowa, for go plant rest na Africa. Can you imagine? And then they talk about economy. Now the same people that wait and talk about something. Now the same people that go talk say na global. Again, now we come again. One serious thing will happen. By the way, Martin, they not get the news it. La LMA, don't stand on, except one be presidential candidate. They don't technically declare na radio democracy.
I see one video they go around, but like I say, it's been a very busy week. So I have not had time to take a look. So
one of the issues there.
Okay, we don't go from 14 to 15. I will update my list.
Okay, it don't be part of the list. Just go watch the program. You go know. It is one thing where I say Naim Mada be the answer to so. It make an allegation say most of, if not 80% of the appointees and diasporas. Now that make, I think, that make to then count to Tanges and order, then try to elevate them. But I got one problem with the whole appointment. To Tanges, Mr. Jamboria say he not say about to Tanges, but me I say about to Tanges because why I say so? That man, now one of the most positive people inside Madabi in government, then try. Now one of the people in that way before say we go AC and up nobody they put on door. Why they for change them in position? Why they forget other position if it work well in that position? That civic education we see all, even though it be the first is for not be partisan, we see how it try. So why they for pull on that position? I think if you change somebody now because of somebody malfunction or somebody need to function well or somebody need to perform a duty well, they change up. But when we get a Sierra Leonean where it do well,
something. I go tell you the reason why Tutange, not so because you know they perform well now in position, make them pull up. Tutange, right now the position where they get is a thank you position. Not because he's not capable of performing in the position that he's gotten or the position that he was. Like I don't explain Nayaso. I don't know who that are your best friend, right? I don't know who that are your best friend. Now this world, where make I say something, unu don't sabi unu self from where unu small. Or from where unu then at teenage years, now unu don't sabi una self. Una don't go up, una don't come under sun, under rain. Unu don't sit down, unu don't eat na one bafan, unu don't wash. Na the same, make I say, bathroom, okay? That is how close these two people are, and many people may not know that.
Okay.
But I am telling you.
Let's just make use of my time before my time.
Yes, go ahead.
Now this now we problem in Sierra Leone. We let for tell people in too much thinking.
I give you 10 back. But in all of the nominations and positions, then first round, you notice say the position then where then get to Tangi. In terms of the work and the service, where even me personally know say it don't give to Mother Bill and the SLPP was not befitting of him. Second rounds around same thing, but he not ever complain. It do in work to the the fullest of inability without ever complaining, right? And now he's been given this new role. This new role, like I say, not because he cannot perform it or he does not have the capacity, but I also see it as a thank you for your dedication, your commitment, staying the course with me, and never betraying me. That's what this position
And
is
added
about.
to that,
I
the
left and
man
I not go
Um,
talk more, I will just left and so.
added to that, Tutange can do the job we BO need at the United Nations for clean image day. He knows how to do that. Give him that. Go ahead, sir.
um, okay. Matilda, Sierra Leone since 1961, we dey try for build institutions. And the problem, we lack continuity. Mother BO, he appoint to Tanges, me know the against them. But to Tanges, they do very good well, now that particular side where they put her. And for let any institution grow in that country, first of all, what you get first, na civic education. I mean, feel say the man they try the very well. Me know the disaster let not tell and thank you. Government and continuity. If Mother BO in government come, other government come, then can still tell and thank you. For telling thank you, let me say you get for being a party. Now this will get for left say when you perform well, when you party go, all your good work done. For be so.
I agree.
And to Tanges now one of the Sierra Leoneans where you don't try. No matter me, I'm not like the SLPP, I'm not a supporter of the SLPP, but to Tanges, then before don't left him, just like it try very hard in that civic ed. And one thing what it do, it reach out to every political party. Whether you're in SLPP, whether you're in APC, whether you're in PDP, to Tanges then you do most. It try. So me, when I see him, yes, then for tell and thank you, but then they tell and thank you at the expense of the nation. We need people like to Tanges for build up institutions. So but if you don't pull to Tanges stay now, whether you feel so incredible somebody where you go to build up that institution, where you go to carry on with the activities of that institution. Then the same way to Tanges left that institution, now the same say again for the other governments, again for somebody who knows if that person go perform like to Tanges. To Tanges not only the government is satisfied, it satisfies Sierra Leoneans. Or we expect and say if they make sure it build that institution very well, even if Marabio not in a power, let that institution will sustain. Thank you very much. But anyway, congratulations to Ramba. I feel say now bad news to Sierra Leoneans where it left that civic education department. Thank you very much.
I understand how you feel, but there is one thing I'm going to tell you about Kalilu. They can mention two other names than Ayaso. Now names that way always then they fly under the radar. But when I say there are people of dignity, commitment, and you know whatever any stain about them, and it doesn't matter who they are serving or what political party they are serving, I can tell you with 100% certainty, without a doubt, that their service is nation first before any political party and individual. Even if they are serving under a political party and it may appear as though they are doing the bidding of that political party or person, at the end of the day, if you go comb through the work, you go actually see say they were doing service to nation. They mentioned few names. One person who I know they ever hear but Dr. Lansbury. Okay? Ambassador to Geneva, permanent representative to the United Nations. Another person who I not go hear but now the person who I say I not be one for calling him Nikki Spencer Coker, just recently appointed to the United Nations. I will call other names them, but I will end and force because their role is not a political appointment, right? But the work where they do are so au fait with them, are so familiar with them. I don't want to say openly here how well I know these individuals, but trust me, that is the same thing you will get in the likes of Tutangi. Make her take the call. Call her waiting her name and also you the call from.
Now, good evening from side again. This is Freedom Mustafa.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Musa.
Well, no, thank you very much. First of all, again, as usual, I can want bring you back, pardon back, Mr. Kagbo being in the doing things they want not able to watch live, and some people they try for confuse them or for wrong foot them about the activities of NEC or ECSL. What did them two guys and they tell Mr. Kagbo so when our brother them TR4 and brother James about how NEC or ECSL function. And I saw if a function and I saw it function before. This past election, so that steering committee, nobody know they give information to nobody. Now make them left for good day. So when they try for talk say, oh, all the decision we NEC we do people and know na lie. On that corner in ECSL, nobody not the way they give information under. Even when they ask them, say the 250,000 people away you delete, which I delete them, you know, tell nobody. So I just want to talk to the Mr. Kagbo so that I want me to do that research, may you see, say, then guide and they, and then they support government. So
I mean, it is
then we
very,
tell you things the way.
very easy. You can call Dr. Claudia Skoll. You go kind of say and tell you what happened. She was in all of the meetings, all of the, you know, he will
Yeah, I
tell you
know.
exactly.
Yeah, I know, say them call them they, but no, they, Miss Cole, which I didn't call them, Fleming School. Now for the census, and then do
I
them back the
know.
same way. You they go
Mm-hmm.
there, you not get nothing for go do they just they go sit on there. So now I make them left for go there.
Yes.
Because them the under their own dispensation, all the things the way NEC or statistics we do before, because even last census when we do in 2015, they get equal representative between SLPP EPC. So that's what they do. Even when I can hear back Africanist press, we say we be stand election 2012. He say now they all go na South Africa for go verify their identity card, them everything. That's what they do. That's what NEC be the function. But this one we pass. Now only Kone na him know what they do, and no give nobody information. You know they involve nobody there. So do that just go to my point now. Sorry, but
Mm.
you talk about the appointment them. Anybody we doubt whether you in management capacity them or capabilities, well, it just they prove you the right or wrong every day.
That's true.
In feel say the best way for employ people them now for appoint them through government office. I mean, pause now government they pay. It not happy any other way. All what they do now for compensate people them.
Mm-hmm.
This one alone I talk about. It been be the bar association. It not make no position on legal matters in the country. The one when I predecessor when I Koa now na in the door appoint back the I mean prosecutor or something at the Department of Prosecutor for government. Now in the stand even in the that case na case about ECSL made an organize the election na Kenima he win and back. So then you compensate them as then they play the role. As my James, then go back Kamara una this so. Now one of the media people away we don't play the game before 2018. Now you make them compensate them and continue for compensate them. So all of them compensation they are now compensation. And the other last point I want to make. You know they see why would they talk this they put on Mr. Jamboria. I always talk about the governance of this country. As long as this way would they govern, we will say the one country cost the resources them. Now one person they control them. If they were appointing people them, when our fee say peace go there, look at the list of people who they appoint. Tell me who done nothing and those things them already now the country money we be say we all for benefit together. And now instead of we solve the governance problem of the country, would they say one person na for take the decision, and we be say the only person people the way they get for appoint now the one the way they dance to in tune, and the people the way they get similar attitudes or characters. So now that one make una say all the problem una they read about problems about governance or elections now because now we then they distribute resources them. Now thank you for the night. Thank you very much, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you very much. Kola make a very good point. I think on Thursday, I was listening partially to Mr. Kagwe. I was so tired, Mr. Kagwe show that I know fully. I've been one for call and say, no, correction, this is what happened because I myself here, I was part of some of those meetings. I've been they follow them. I've been they, I was invited to them. I had access. I've been they follow. I've been they listening. I've been they listening to when questions were asked, clarification, this, that. And some of the information that the callers them in the give, no align completely with waiting at least me observe while I was there. And I not forget say there was a time when I mean they interact with all of the candidates them except for obviously the SLPP candidate of the personhood of Mother Bill. There was a time when I mean they interact with all of the candidates them when they run or their direct representative, meaning that their assistant. If I'm not able to get them directly, I contact the assistant, talk to them or what have you. So there a lot been there where I've been known and where I've been privy to. So just based on that, there are certain things that sometimes I'll come and say, other times, honestly, not to make business for talk because at the end of the day, people should be bold enough to fight their own fights. The fight that I take on are the fight of knowledge to the people. But that, the one will not concern me, honestly, because it's either here nor there, and when it is here or there, I think the appropriate individuals concerned should take up their own fight for the betterment of the nation, and that's where I end it. The caller bring forward something where me self observe when I look at both the because when I not for saying that two announcements then come this week. The one for commissioners them and then or board of directors them as well as these other appointments them not so. I look at all the names them, I look at all the positions them, and I can't help but say to myself, Sierra Leone, I believe we get 16 linguistic groups then not so. And so I can't help but say 18 linguistic groups, okay. We get 18 linguistic groups then. So I can't help and say to myself, okay, where is the balance of representation here? Like, where does equity come into play here? Equity in terms of fairness, balance of representation in linguistic groups. And when I look at the formation of the entire cabinet itself, I can't help but ask myself, okay, where's the balance of equity here? That is a very hard question, and I don't want to open a Pandora's box because to ask that question.
Answer the law left answer.
Yes, to ask that question and to start demystifying the why go mean for say we they go open a Pandora's box, and I feel say I'm not in the best of health to even go there tonight. So how about we talk about something we concern we all and we know.
I have come to another conclusion about Sierra Leone. Whatever is happening today is destined to happen to lead us to some other point. There are times when change has to be very painful for us to learn the lessons that we need to learn, so that when the new beginnings come, we will know how to go through the steps. That's what I'm seeing in Sierra Leone. And I don't reach a point where I don't even begin to say, it will be the best interest of Sierra Leoneans for keep quiet about Mother Bill in government. Let nobody not talk about them. Nothing that they do, let nobody not just care. They cannot change nothing.
Exactly.
Why would they talk all this talking? How they change nothing? What thing they want to do now and then they do?
Exactly.
So if you keep quiet, then they go begin say, don't take them away. When you see people that don't keep quiet, so we are not safe. Because they are banking on the fact that they are in full control. They've used fear. They've used all kind of strategy. When you go to this Naomi Klein, nine book, that shock doctrine, most of it has been applied to Sierra Leone. So now it's like they are going to stage 2 of convenience. We are in control. Let it be. We issue for discuss maybe like the airlines issue, we go discuss about the safety. But the politics, let Julius Mother do I want. The only thing no more, and he's saying a Catholic, they go read Solomon in book. Where he say there is a time for every purpose. Finish. We go there advise them without able to advise them. But honestly, you cannot make sense out of a lot of things happening in Sierra Leone. You go call a compensation, you call any kind of name. But the real fact is, these guys are doing self-sabotage. How can you create a situation, they increase taxes on the people, real income not a change, production not a take place, then you increase wage bills for a few people? How does that add up? Now we not going to all the technicalities, then the law will continue.
Yeah. So me, I've been done decide a very long time ago that this government is not a government that is very
They are not
collaborative.
responsive to the needs of the people. Law put us straight.
Exactly. And that make I say they're not responsive to the thing, so they're not collaborative. And that make I use the word collaborative because a collaborative government means that yes, in as much as you go about, enacting or implementing your agenda, sometimes you make compromises, you bend the ladle, you fold the ladle to accommodate and do it in the people then they ask you for do and do it in the people they want you for do. But it does not seem like not the case with this government. So maybe not decided a long time ago. So if una notice the type of issues that why they tackle lately, not what issues that we get for do it. Oh, the government must do this, the government must do that if they want to succeed in this. No, because at the end of the day, they don't heed to advice. They are know-it-all government. They are all PhD holders with a lot of book sense, that are going to give us theories and feed us theories. So if they want for rule by theories and rule by dictates, let them go ahead. So I want jump to the main topic for this evening, when the Sierra Leone Airlines, right? Sierra Leone Airlines, we don't hear about Sierra Leone Airlines, hear about Sierra Leone Airlines, hear about Sierra Leone Airlines. For some of we, and when I say for some of we, because I think by the time the Sierra Leone Airline or Sierra Leone Airways or I think what it was called before was
Yes.
Yes, it was called Sierra Leone Airways.
1984 or 85, it was Sierra Leone Airways. Now, when they come in agreement with Jordanian, and then call it Sierra Leone Airlines.
Yes. So basically,
from the inception, because Sierra Leone Airways was formed in 1958.
Yes.
When the West African Anglophone conglomerate breakdown, what I mean, they call West African something corporation. When it break down, all are going away, Ghana going away, Sierra Leone going away, Nigeria going away, Gambia going away. So now they then form Sierra Leone Airways.
Yeah. So,
yes, ma, go ahead.
So, Mr. Jamboria will give us a little bit more, but me just I will just tell you now waiting me know again, when I say waiting me no, una get to understand say at the time where Sierra Leone Airways stopped for one, that was I think about 30 to 40 years ago, and if I'm not mistaken, maybe 40 years ago, right? When they stopped for operate officially without any formal notification as to why waiting cause the shutdown or the non-existence of the airline, some of us maybe were sucklings, right? And some of us were not even existing yet, right? The fetus not even form itself for some of we. So now that make I get Mr. Jamboria and I also today, because obviously he go able for give a solid history of waiting me not sabi, because remember I can do research and all, but like I say, for some of you we're sucklings, right? Some of you we fetus they're not even forming, some of we the dream of even that we go even be a fetus at some point, not even in day, right? So this is how far back we are talking about something. But again, I say this need for be the responsibility of everybody for not waiting they go on, because I say it affect whether you're a diasporan or you live Salone, it affect you. One, if you're not a diaspora and traveling to Sierra Leone, you want to be confident in the airline way they take, because safety. The first and the last rule of an airline, the operation of an airline, safety. Period. If something bad happen, now losses to your family. Not only losses to your family na Yaso, now also losses to your family yanda. Now that make I say in both sides, or whether na yanda you dey komoka here, you go take plane way faulty, where something God forbid happen, now losses all around. So now that make the first and the last rule of fleets, of Boeings, of airline, now the airline industry: safety first, safety second, safety third, safety last, always safety. So the way actually how me even get for your this thing, so now through somebody send me how they call a written expose by Dr. Sylvia Blyden, where it ask some pertinent questions them about the operation of this Salone Airline. So or Air Sierra Leone. So that woman there, because the head can they shake. If I see something they come off from I'm not can watch her so, right? But I noticed say 3 people then send me the same thing. And I get the habit that if I receive the same thing from multiple sources, I take a minute for look. So that's Nadan Denaya do. I take a minute, I open the document, I read through, and I see say, they ask some serious questions to the government about something called Z-Jet, an airline where we don't get an accident. As a matter of fact, in even called me, don't know if not be Asaba or someplace in Nigeria. They call the Boeing women for say the plane number, the serial number. It give all, like, she went into detail as to everything will happen. And then it's saying that same plane day, now no one can fly Salone people then with. And he also go to the point that he said that plane then a very, very the Boeing, a very, very old Boeing. And as a matter of fact, then for don't decommission that Boeing they're not supposed to fly against it. So then I pick me curiosity small. I say, hey, make her look into this. And then I notice say, there's been a puppy show about this airways business. They don't make big publicity announcements. The government at some point be they pretend like for say now the venture, but then come to find out say not to be a government venture. I don't want make let me not be precipitous, okay? I don't want to rush. Here is what I know so far. And Mr. Jamboria will correct me as I go along. I believe say about 30 to 40 years ago, Sierra Leone Airways stopped for operate.
Then change the name to Sierra Leone Airlines.
Okay.
The airline ceased for run commercial flights after Jordanian Airlines back out of a contract with them in get. That was in 87, I mean. But still, there were efforts here and there to get some collaboration, some partnership. But basically, Sierra Leone Airways been they take care of stevedoring services at the airport. Then at the same time, I think that they run the local canteen and then canteen and they until they form this airport authority. Whatever happens between them, after the war, at that time I was not in Sierra Leone again. Somebody came in, they started an airlines with them, he says Sierra Leone Airlines. Along the way, then get problem, the thing get foreclosed back. By then I was not in Sierra Leone. But effectively, Sierra Leone Airways closed down in 1985 when Jordanian Airlines came inside. Then changed the name to Sierra Leone Airlines instead of Sierra Leone Airways.
Okay.
Well, I go give you some updates about some of the weaknesses we are seeing in this arrangement.
So me go just go in grosso modo waiting me understand the gun right now. So basically Sierra Leone Airlines stop functioning. They not give you any particular reasons as to like solid reasons as to why it stopped functioning.
Get a case with
the office
the
been
airport authority. Where the
been
airport
there.
authority claim say they may get for pay them $800,000. But then the
Okay.
Tijan Kaba government came in, and that was the end of that case. We not anything from there. That's now the KLD. This is the first time we are coming with the Airlines.
Okay. So basically the headquarters or the head office of that airline they've been in Awarding Street. And then when they closed down, that place was taken over by Alliance Française. And if anybody will learn French in a salon around a certain time, let me say in the 90s, if you've been to learn French or study French or something like that, then you will know me. I went to Alliance Française because I took French all throughout. I went to Alliance Française, and so I don't even know waiting there at that building there now if it's still functional and waiting.
Now I know why you are close with Dr. Dennis Bright. I used to go to Alliance Française virtually every day then.
Yeah.
You know, so, let me get a restaurant behind
So basically, when I been for say during how do I call them? During the operations when the flights them in the operating a salon at the time, well many of you would not know, but those who were born and whatever, it been very easy for them for connect to Europe, for them for go to the UK, for not so much America, but that airline they go frequently in Europe. Now I'm talking about Sierra Leone Airlines, so not confuse me. They talk about Sierra Leone Airlines been they go na the UK, na London, been they go na the European countries, then be they fly out. Not can come even up to the US, but not so much, right? But then something happened, and then we been get something where after that airline they died down. We been get something where they call Africana Air, right? Africana Air Taxi. Africana Air Taxi, I feel saying I've been a taxi plane where they go in between the province system, because I know for say a lot of them have been go surprised for no say some of the provinces them actually had landing fields, right? So
let
plane
me
with the
just give you an update on them. Let me get Kabbalah, let me get Bo, Bont, Kenema, and Tongue of Hill. With this one again, there was one else. I think Moyamba Binget, field. but it's been closed for some time.
Yeah.
But the
And
one
so,
for Bond, I use them, Bo, I use them.
yes. So, and on another surprise, I mean, they get passengers, them. Not to say they're
Yeah.
not being get passengers. A lot of people, I mean, they use that way of transportation then for commute between the province system and also the mainland. And if I say the mainland right now, I they talk about Freetown, right? For go back and forth from Freetown, weekend, this, that, go spend time with their family, then come back, Monday can walk, this, that. It was easy. But then something happened in the 80s. We got into the IMF conditionalities, right? Some people then believe say the reason why Salone Airlines stop for operates now because of IMF conditionality, because IMF they talk say certain things and certain institutions should not be run by government. Government is not a business. Government is government, and certain institutions should be privatized and privately owned and run. But I dey tell una now some of the arguments them. I know they say that damn day it happen, right? Because I have to look at everything. But if we go deep into the history, we would know that IMF has nothing to do with the shutdown
And
of
anything to do with it.
line.
Now,
Waiting
mismanagement
actually,
have been the problem.
yes, waiting actually happened with Sierra Leone Airline, just like where Sierra Leone Airline, when I go say when they go bankrupt, okay, when they go bankrupt, then put them for sale. But there's also much money that no businessman not be one put their hand inside. Nobody not be one for take on the debt. Because if you buy something, you also they take on the debt where that thing they own. And then they not a good business practice for make you begin your business with debt. Trying to clear the debt of somebody for make now you begin they can do your own business, operate and make profit. But notwithstanding that, even though Sierra Leone Airlines went into the gallows, during the APC time, they try for, whitewash with waiting them they call like fly salon. Fly salon also not materialize into anything. And now under the SLPP, then they try for bamboozle away with Air Sierra Leone, right? Yeah, in true, the APC try for whitewash with fly salon, it not go anywhere. Now SLPP then they can have come bamboozle away with Air Sierra Leone. All man get there, people. Trust me, I'm telling you, all man get there, So, basically, one might want to ask why make Sierra Leone Airlines went down. Bad business. They know they pay them taxes. They know they operate as a business. Abused by the government. Because the government, they go take voucher, load them, then girlfriend and the entire family, block 20 seats. If somebody they operate a business, you go block 20 seats. Or 30 seats na the fleet. You they do them week in, week out, week in. So you go bankrupt the person and they're not they pay. So then they
make a
Yeah.
point, Matilda.
Yes, sir.
We have never 100% own any airlines. Sierra Leone Airways formed in 1958 was formed in collaboration with British Overseas Airways Corporation, BOAC. They provided all the infrastructure and everything, then do certain training. But the government of Sierra Leone was a major shareholder. As you rightly say, they misuse and mismanage. Now, mismanagement lead to the collapse. Because even then, internal flights, them where them been get.
Not been they pay service fee, they not been they pay them taxes them, and then them in the trust and not they pay.
Yes, even the internal flights, they would have been get where they use them Trilander. This Dr. John Tambi will be in the infrastructure. I'll be one of the pilots them. When they use them Trilander then it was more like the creme of society that then they use them, and most of them had free ride. They're not being paid. And as we speak, people and then as Sierra Leone where they in public offices, they're not they pay light bill and then things then they.
Yeah.
Now Benton here, they lead to collapse, then we can take them, we politicize them. When Sierra Leone Airways almost collapsed, they had Jordanian Airlines coming to partner with them. They been give we 1707 jet. We been they run from Freetown to Gatwick. Then they do stopovers na Banjul and Las Palmas. Then they say them mismanage them. So the Jordanians, them after 3 years, they got annoyed and went away.
Yeah.
This is always who we are. This is always who we are. Who done we can take and make politics.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it may be politics because most of these people who head these institutions are there because of political appointment. But for God's sake, people then forget conscience say, whatever I'm doing here, I'm doing for Sierra Leone, not for my party.
Yes, that's true. And so basically, I just continue again with the little history. So where all thing don't pangolo don't pangaladon. All man don't go. Now you know the war happened. So 1996, 1997, during the war and during Tijan Kaba in first and second election term, he kind of, I don't know if he able to manage to strike a deal with some of the airlines them. And I've been known for say people like KLM, Sabina, that is now Brussels Airline. British Airways stopped for operating in 1997, but then we get Sabina, we been get KLM, we been get Ghana Airways. Even actually before the war, we had all of these airways coming into Sierra Leone. So even though Sierra Leone Airlines stopped operating, we been get other fleets then we been the can salon. Because maybe remember as a small Pekin, where been the travel link, you always put me in the plane and then they hand me over to the air hostess then for take care of me until I reach now the destination where they reach, and then them pick me up from the airport, and that's how I traveled then. I've not been the travel with anybody. I always travel unaccompanied, but the airlines, the air hostess them and whatever, they can always take care of me. So I remember that clearly because I know for say Air France, Air Afrique been the cam na salon. I know for say Ghana Airways been the can na salon.
Ghana Airways, Lufthansa been the come up to a point.
Lufthansa been the cam.
Then you get UTA.
Yes.
UTA was the major carrier at the time when UTA been the run. That then build that Radisson Blue. UTA be get a hotel window then called Sofitel. Because by then tourism in the boom na Sierra Leone, then decide to them flight for stop na Freetown, then build the hotel. The hotel now they them been prepare food, change them staff and all things. But at the same time, anytime where UTA been they come in the 80s, they come full load. When they go back, they go full load.
Full load, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were booming until UTA collapsed, then I think Air France take over.
Exactly, yes. So, and then you would have the arrival in the 20s of fleets like Air France, but they all now don't pack up, they all don't go. They all don't pack up, they all don't go because the government decide for levy heavy tariffs on them. And I am a business, I'm not going to run at a profit because already yes, they bring me fleets kind of your country, they take fleets from your country, but the number of passengers that why they take, the amount not that many for cover me cost. So now that make stops now other countries them, and then if waiting they pay for land na your country is so much than waiting I dey pay for land na other country for use their own airspace. Obviously, I go side better for me because at the end of the day, business is to make profit, right? There is no sympathy or empathy in business. Business is to make profit. When I remember also during the war time, and the reason why they can mention this person here, so because from what me understand about this air salon thing where they go on, something similar this air salon business is about. If I remember, there's somebody by the name of Kevin McPhillips. During the wartime, Kevin McPhillips, they run chartered planes them, right? So he wasn't, he not been on an airline, he not been on a Boeing, he not been on any flight or anything, but he was an agent. He was a man who knew several airlines, several fleets, and he buy seats them, several airlines them, and then or he charter, if he gets enough customer, go charter a whole airline, go na the country, take the people and calm them, pay and what have you. But what ended up for happen again with Kevin McPhillips, according to research and what I understand is that then check the man.
They only are underwater.
They only are underwater and check the man. You know, then check the man. The man don't give una bonya, but like say salon man when they give them veranda, they want room, they want the parlor, they want it. That's what they did to the man. And when the man go threaten them for money, when the man go can ask for him money, they go threaten him. Yes, we do have time for calls. When the man go call ask for the money, they go threaten him. Then go threaten him. You know, we salon people who like for threaten and threaten the man. Now the man finally realized, listen, inside maybe 20 fleet flights, una they take 10. Then una they hold me underwater. Also una they hold me underwater. Now I they run business at a losses. Now in country, why they try for Epuna. And elsewhere, I they try now for makeup the losses why they get now so elsewhere. So the man look left, he look right, he realized say salon is not a place to do business. It is not a favorite place to do business because open call and threaten bagbatipa your money again. So the man left. And that's how Kevin
went to Banjul.
Yes, he left, he go Banjul. That's how Kevin McPhillips and the availability of multiple variation of fleets coming into Sierra Leone cease to exist. I will take the call and then we continue. Caller, waiting at your name and say you call for.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hello, Matilda. This now Maru they call again from Marabe Farm now. Iowa.
Okay.
We did talk this flight here. We company we for car operating in Sierra Leone. There is a lot of rumor all we don't see. Some of footage they will not able to get the main story from the government side. A lot of allegations. So for the government, then they ignore all the allegations there, and then decide to let this flight around at the risk or at the expense of Sierra Leoneans. So, if we say the listing, at least government, we need an official statement. Maybe it's them walk out and we know see it. An official statement for debunk the news where they go around that particular flight day. Then one minute again, Mr. Shilon talk something. Matilda, I'll draw to your attention. I've been saying when you come, lay it on attention. Mr. Shilon talk very important thing the last time. He said at the beginning, they write government officials them. Official letters, maybe something away then they just they go back door make they come at the show. We need for see government like most of them things they can explain to we. Then Matilda, there is something going on again at the 8 years this the council now. The issue of the mayor. and maybe sometimes I don't know if una the way to the car, the cable cars they don't car before ever begin to talk about them. For the past 7 years, the mayor don't talk about this cable car. Explain how the cable car go come transport 2 million people or above na the city of Freetown. In a country where it be for say, even the traditional roads to will get enable maintainer. For make ordinary bridge from while it's just a street to Water Street, the neighbor make them. For maintain road the neighbor for make ordinary overhead bridge na Congo cross for reduce that traffic the neighbor. Now one way that they can put na sky they go manage. So the mayor don't talk about this in project. He don't talk, they smile. Explain to we how he for can transport 2 million people with a cable car. We want to reach to now maybe sometime una attention nobody, but it don't take they go around. Low no wait again till the implementer they will know. We know cable car, for instance, I in Switzerland and Mr. Jamboria who said they go tell you say cable car are more tourist areas who say no motorable na didn't gain. Because they know say transportation difficult and then they put cable car. You say you go put cable car na Freetown, where the ordinary road enable manager, and you know able tell me 30 how they transport 2 million people. I don't follow him. I did listen to him program and most of the traditional stations in Sierra Leone. And just talk blah 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 cable car. You know tell people how we go transport 2 million people in a cable car within the city of Freetown. I feel say it don't reach a time let VOS no call her mommy, let her explain to the public I plan for transport people with cable car. We no want to get lost, wait again, let it be another issue because we no go sit wait again. Where they don't implement and they'll begin to ask question. Why we need to ask question now? Where the program there on now 7 years this that mommy don't go that program. That energy we put for that 7 years, if now that same energy we don't use. Before don't go overhead bridge now that Congo cross, then before at least start that bridge now while it's just to Water Street. Yeah, when allow the ask question, long you don't wait, where the issue don't go on. That's it go on late, they'll begin to ask questions. Thank you very much.
So not that I'm about to defend the mayor. I completely agree with you that a need for calm and can explain. So the communications team of VOS, I believe, need for reach out to the mayor and ask for an interview. I will not do that, and I say so in public. I have my reasons why I will not do that, because in as much as I don't mind for interview them, okay, in as much as I don't mind for interview them, I will not reach out, because if I reach out, I strongly feel that I will be entering into a situation of breach of I will be breaching something, and I don't want to breach that. And so therefore, I will ask the communications team of VOS, make them reach out to the mayor. And yes, once she's here, I have no problem asking her the tough questions, right, for clarity. But one thing I will say before I take the call is that the cable car not mean for substitute, bus, taxi, or even the existence of Okada. That's not what the cable car is meant for, because the cable car will get lines, then they run, and where then go, where just like how you get bus stop them, right? That's how the cable car works. You get particular locations, just like when you take the train system, right? And get particular lines, then particular location, then where they run. Excuse me, just like the London Underground subway, right? You take your Oyster, and then I believe then get the green line, then get the blue line, then get the orange line, depending on which side they go. When you come down, if which side they go there around the inside, and then you can do your business. If not, sometimes you get for transit onto a bus, or sometimes you also get for maybe take taxi Like here, so na Canada, you can take the train halfway, you jump, you take taxi halfway, no, not taxi, bus halfway, and then you pick up your car, you drive halfway. So, on that note, make I be very clear for say, the introduction of the cable car system and then get them na other countries them as well. Right now, it just not a calm na in mind the countries them we get that system. They not to for replace transportation as we know it, but is to augment the efficiency of commuting. Now, I agree with you that like a platform like this, a space like this, the mayor need for come and explain himself and talk to the Sierra Leonean people and really, really clarify and give people them opportunities for ask the tough questions and get clarity on certain things then. I want to go to the caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you call from.
Yes. Good day, Mrs. Matilda and Mr. Jamboria. How they do?
Not too
Hey, go
bad.
back, how they do?
Too bad, sir. I hope now all they do well.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about the topic in question. But tonight I talk, I think Mr. Umar talk a lot of things that I agree with. In regards to the mayor. Because this car issue that they talk about, I think that was like few years ago, 3 years ago, when this was mentioned, and I was against it. I was in favor of it for many reasons. Because Salone, we have an issues. First of all, we get rubbish issues. Freetown alone. Why isn't that more important? Now with dirty box, they tell Abide Salone who they're gonna turn. They see the dirty box. So much dirty openly. A landfill. Why aren't we talking about that? Because if we can address that issue, maybe we will be able to save beaucoup, we'll be able to decrease many of the diseases them, such as malaria, cholera, all anything. Salone will get this way of talking. When Salone man they talk to, will get this way of saying, this might they talk to the labo. So I think Nadande waiting the mayor of Freetown. I don't think he think about the issue carefully. And I don't think it's necessary. We not need it. And let me tell you what's not the issue, the problem at Salone. The way Sierra Leonean politicians they deal with this current administration, the keyword, they deal with issues like an event. Including this flight issue here, so they talk about. Because first of all, the president's not built trust. The people do not trust Madabio. And leadership starts with trust. I talked about that 2 weeks ago. And somebody come, Salone might go talk to somebody go must try find a way. Just for try and criticize you and find a way other way out for put things together. I talked about trust 2 weeks ago. Under Obama administration, there was a particular area called Flint water. There was an issue there. That area gets water issue. It becomes such a big issue that until Obama go there, pretend like he drink the water because I don't believe for say drink the water. He drink the water just to show trust. So salon politicians, they deal with many issues like an event. 2 weeks ago, under Mr. Shilo, they showed that video, then go na Kalon. The politicians say, oh, we they do this, we they do that. At the end of the day, the ordinary people, then not to them can say, look, nothing not done. They don't make a big event. They don't pull chest, say, would they do this, would they do that? Nothing was done. So with biggest problem at Salon, the politicians, they deal with issues like an event. And that needs to be stopped. They need to take issues seriously because now your own life and my own life. We picking their life and you own picking their life. We need to stop, as Mr. Jamboria always say, they do always put the cat before the horse.
Okay.
That is our problem.
Okay,
You
thank
don't
you very
deal
much.
with politics.
The buzzer don't go so many times and you don't exceed your 3 minutes. I gave you 4 and now we're going close to 5. I can't do that because I don't do that for others. You can call again. But then waiting around for just round up so that I will give Mr. Jamboria some time for just sitting to this because like I say again, we are just introducing this topic. We don't get a lot yet for really sit down inside and look at the ramifications of what's about to happen. So basically, we built a 270 million extension to an airport. This extension also don't lead to so much. We don't cause as well a tariff increase, not just on fleets coming into the country, but also on the prices of tickets going into Sierra Leone. Warawe, we hear now say, this Air Sierra Leone, one can operate na salon. At first, it was posed as though the government of Sierra Leone, the owner. It's a government-run thing. But then the more we dig, we get to understand, say, a Nigerian business owner we already don't get a set of flights them where I believe say one of them na Z-Jet, where they run Z-Jet from Nigeria from Abuja, from Lagos to Abuja, and X-Jet as well. X-Jet where they run from Lagos to Nigeria. Z-Jet na the name where they bring Kana Salon, the MOU that was signed in 2002, it was signed under GDET, the name Z-Jet. So now you got to ask the question, if you sign an MOU under one name, why all of a sudden the name they now reconfigured or revamped to Sierra Leone Airline or Air Sierra Leone? Why the need for that? Because the MOU, inside the MOU, it not been say Air Sierra Leone, it says Z-Jet. And if this person already done the run fleets then in Nigeria, why make, if now business opportunity they look for and Sierra Leone presented the business opportunity, why excuse me, carry the extension of in business into Sierra Leone? Why rebrand it as though it's a Sierra Leonean own and run? The other question back where we need for ask is that how much is the government involved? How much is the nation involved in this? Is it just something where the government just they put in an under for promote and advertise and encourage, or now something where Salon actually gets a stake, a percentage in ownership? We don't know all the details then there. Now they also come and say the flights go, then they begin, then they open. Actually, now we're in November. Women say they already don't open their websites for make people and buy tickets, right? Because they say they force international trip from Salon go be from Salon to Gatwick International Airport, now London. Now you get for us, do they have all of the aviation security requirements and standard? Did they meet all of Gatwick International Aviation Security and standard to be able to operate that flight first week in December, like they said, from Sierra Leone to London? You get to ask, waiting at the track record of this company. Do they have a good track record? As their track record, is it blemish free? You get to write waiting at the business and practice of them people there. So the last time many people went and checked the website after they did a very big hoopla on the media space, on the news media space, na Salone, people then go check their website. The website was non-functional. Now I understand, say the websites they function, but with limited capacity. If people then try for go book tickets, they know they see ticket availability, neither do they see availability of flying. Now they back now another question. The other question is that when they say that their return flight from Sierra Leone, from Lunge to London are $700. We all know how ticket is these days. We all know inside December. So we are asking, we also want for no, because they're not making that clear. Is this because they get a particular quota when they run at a discounted rate for a particular time for Sierra Leoneans then, and then after the regular rates go be whatever for what we know, all that they not clear. The other thing back we not clear is that we are not showing all of the certification. The certification where this airline, where this Boeing so don't go through for make sure say yes, indeed, it don't pass all of the safety tests and safety requirements them for make a run from Sierra Leone to Gatwick. Right? From Sierra Leone to Gatwick. So now we're getting into something. On I want to go put people them inside a flight where we don't know waiting at the condition of the system. Like me, so I don't talk and I also several times. I have a cousin that is an aeronautic engineer. As a matter of fact, it's not just he builds motherboard, like motherboard, not to simulated motherboards in the bid. They build motherboards them for airplane from beginning to end. From beginning to end. He was trained in Senegal and trained in France. Also certified in the US. So for me, for engage with them kind of conversations, then also with he go just to look me say, est-ce que Sierra Leone, est-ce que ça va? Like Salone, is everything okay over there? You know? Because he knows the beast. He knows the beast that is in the plane. Like I said, they build motherboards them for plane, like from scratch, beginning to end, right? Test them. A lot of planes that when they fly in the US and other countries, then are inbuilt the motherboards them for them. So for something like that, you go ask questions, take question go against me. And because me no sabi, pun or pay, I'm not even about to enter such conversations with him. But we get so many questions there for ask we not clear. Before we go put people, combra them one shilling rope them. Una they go play bembeske with the life. Because that flight, they even inside Nigeria, and a flight we know they operate internationally. Now locally, they operate inside Nigeria. That particular line of flights, then locally, they operate inside Nigeria. And that particular Boeing, the way they mentioned, that Boeing, they don't get accidents with people them. Thank God, I don't think anybody lost their lives. Because the pilot was good. Now then they call on pilots then. They say they want hire Sierra Leoneans, then give preference to Sierra Leone and then first before they go hire internationally. All good and well, you want to build the local economy. That's how we should start first. We should start from within first. But have you passed all of your certification? Because you know what, for go put an with Salone brother or Salone sister in Anne, Bombosco go happen there, you say it was a Sierra Leonean pilot, it don't make sacrifice within people there. No, we don't want that. So we are asking the questions now. Before Nambara Soto happened. Mr. Jamboria, please go ahead.
I get several issues with this arrangement.
Yes, sir.
Lunge is very unfortunate. And don't light panel for bridge now, they don't call light panel for airlines. Anybody who believes that this thing they work, where you don't know how the airlines industry they operate. I'm not denying maybe it go run inside West Africa, because until we in Africa now God they kill. But Gatwick will never allow that plane to land. You know why? The model
Go ahead, sir.
of airlines now outdated model. Ghana Airways used to run that model on their West African route. I used it several times in the 1990s. Then we don't take the all out of service. In fact, Ghana Airways been get 2 of that model there. Then they been get DC-10. We've been they do international flights. Even the DC-10 has been decommissioned. I know they say that plane they not go run, but the safety level, the risks were involved is so high that Gatwick not go allow them permission for land day. And I they wait for see if it go happen. I they challenge people them on that because me say get small idea about airlines issues. I worked at Lunge Airport between 1985 and 87. When Sierra Leone Airlines closed down, now I go back in a classroom. Okay? You see, the second question is, this airlines was registered in the company was registered in 2015 in Nigeria, but they only got their certificate to operate in 2021. How much experience this company get for run international flights? Because when they get that certificate, now internal flights they do inside Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is a big country. Agreed. Nigeria is a big country, but the capacity for manage an airlines internally and for manage airlines internationally are 2 different things. The insurance and other issues that were involved are 2 different things. This is a scam. Me they say who don't want to challenge me. It's a scam. And the other thing, I don't look at the XCJet the website. Now the same aircraft you see there with the same number. I don't think they even get a second aircraft. The number of the aircraft with laugh and la read and tona. The same aircraft. So that's now 1 aircraft they get. And an outdated model. Where most of the airlines they use that model, they don't stop for use them. Oh Lord, I don't know why.
So XCJet is a Nigerian airline commenced
Okay, I don't see
operation in
the number
January
where they find
2021
the craft where then they show
after
on the website.
obtaining its air operator certificate for non-scheduled chartered services in September 2014 in September 2014, the airline expanded its air's operation certification to include scheduled passenger flights. Okay, the inaugural scheduled flights took place on November 2nd, 2024, operating between Abuja and Lagos. So you see, now internal flights then they run.
Then the other important information, the aircraft where they use in Nigeria, where they don't bring in a Salone, the number where they now 5N stroke BZN. The aircraft where they can show we where they don't paint now for Sierra Leone. Are the same number I get. And last year, sometime around September, they banned them in Nigeria. So which means then they move Sierra Leone for avoid that ban in Nigeria that has we don't know whether they don't clear them or not. So Gatwick if Gatwick is not going to give them landing rights, Then go take them risk then in Africa, but European airports they not they take them risk then they. Because if they take them risk then they IFATA will come after them.
Well, even from waiting with the see right now, we clearly can see say even the expansion license we then get now for just expand internally within Nigeria,
It's an
not to for
internal
expand
flight.
internationally. So it means that this flight or this airline is not insured or cleared to operate internationally. So why would Sierra Leone entered into an MOU agreement for make this for make them run fleets them internationally? We know what say a lot of airlines them not a come na salon anymore, right? But that is as a result of what? That is as a result of high taxation.
Exactly.
That is a result of high taxation. It's not because they don't want to come, but short of passing the cost to passengers and passengers having to pay very, very expensive ticket. Salon are one of the most expensive places for travel to.
You see, not
If
only
not,
the
as a matter
airport
of
tax
fact,
they
in
affect.
West Africa, as far as I know it right now, Salon are the most expensive
Yes,
place
we
for
are one
travel
of the
to.
most expensive. But one thing I want to get clear, Matilda, not only the airport tax they affect we. Now the fact that people are not get business for go do na Sierra Leone. Because politically, we don't make we country into a banana republic we're not safe. So people, the only businesses that go to Sierra Leone now are rogue businesses. And almost Sierra Leonean they travel. When you not empower you people them forget real income, they cannot travel. Almost Sierra Leonean they travel, we go make airlines business profitable in Sierra Leone. You get a
But
population of 8
exactly
million.
the question where we they even ask is that almost flights then they can salon right now per week.
Most of the flights the way they go Sierra Leone, then they run at loss because let we say Sabina or Brussels left Europe, it get passengers for up to Conakry. But from Conakry to Sierra Leone, now one passenger, and you're obligated for can left, and that fuel wouldn't they burn. That handling fuel and they pay na lungi, that loss for them. Business not
Yes.
to charity.
No. No, business is
The
not
only
charity.
time
They
when
always
Sierra Leoneans they travel na
they
December
salon
holiday term.
exactly. Then a salon really for make like do we have hundreds of plane coming in salon every week? Because these are some of the numbers where they're gonna other countries them per day, then they see or per week, then they see hundreds of different airlines per day, then they see maybe 20, 25, 30 different airlines then.
Yeah,
Do we
yeah.
have that?
We cannot have it.
Do we have the space? Not do we have the space, the enabling? And when I talk about space, I'm talking about the enabling environments to encourage
We
such.
not get this. We
And
not get the
also,
economic
do
space
we
for
have
allow
the
that.
economic hand to even compete? So if even we get the space, do we have the economic hand to compete? Do we have the economic hand for make we use this type of services, this type of provision? So this person where they come right now, is it coming to milk the little that is there? Because people have no option, because right now na Air Morocco no more they manage people then, and maybe one or two other airlines there, so if one can enter the game for make quick profits. Because listen, no matter how you slice the cake, is not coming there out of empathy or sympathy. He's coming there to run a business, and at the end of the day, what he expects is to make profit, is to make money. Or una fail to say na another mumu na don't come where una go they take 20 seats, una trust me, una not pay. It's not going to happen. So what exactly, and then And then who do you hold responsible? Who do you hold accountable? Do they have a head office in Sierra Leone? When, if you buy a ticket, something wrong with your ticket, how you they reach customer service? What form of customer service are they giving? Is it in person? Is it a combination of online? Is it virtual?
All right.
If something happens to your
Go on and
luggages
ask
and
the
stuff,
questions.
who do you call? They don't set up all of them structures, then they, for even say the first fleet will take place. Listen, we are 2 weeks away from the end of the month, virtual, literally. For say the first flight from Salone to Gatwick, they take place first week in December.
That
Are we
week has
serious?
not given a clearance, Matilda. That week has not given out aid. That aircraft, a 1990 aircraft. All the airlines, they operate them in Africa, they don't decommission them. Take it from me. Ghana Airways had a Ivorian, they been get the same aircraft. Air Mali been get them. Air Senegal been get them. None of them know they operate that kind of aircraft now. Now decommission Boeing for short
So
distance,
how do
it
you
go
want to put
operate.
100+ people in a Boeing that has been decommissioned, and then it just start like that rotten chicken where them in take another country and then they can dump an a salon, and with salon people them in they run for go eat that rotten chicken there. That is the situation I'm envisioning right now. When I remember that rotten chicken where them in go dump na bomb. Where we people them in they run for go eat that rotten chicken there. This is what I am seeing. This is what I
The
am seeing
only way
looming.
these guys are
This
the
na a
can now,
situation, we
Matilda.
not take them. If we not take them, this na a situation of feed salon, but salon not they see the feeding. Before that, na gari and casada when they eat. This na a situation of toma bom rest. Wait, 10 now they not harvest this rest here so eat. This na a
The rest
situation
they
of the
wait for
potato that we
AI.
saw at Airline. This na hands off our girls where that pikin, what's her name? Is her name Zainab Jallo or whatever that they buried last Friday or this Friday that was raped. This na that kind of situation they made a see, but how long we go continue for talk? How
The
long?
only way this airlines go operate if they use that Kelvin McPhillips arrangement, then can't to recognize the airlines, then charter them. But otherwise, Gatwick is not going to allow that aircraft to land. It's a decommissioned aircraft. Take it from me, huh? Not to guess how they get to.
Okay, so I see a caller. They say, please, people, the flight in question is not. I want to read this caller also in 2 comments. Them where he say, please, people. He said, please, people should do their homework. Government officials and Air Sierra Leone was on FM 98.1 and AYB platform to officially debunk fake news around this issue. There is too much misinformation. And then the second comment was, no, there was another comment by the same person. It says the flight in question is not the plane going to Gatwick to Freetown. The flight, okay, that English is a bit distorted for me. Do you mean to say the flight in question is not the one going from Freetown to Gatwick? Is that what you're trying to say? So if it's not going from Freetown to Gatwick, where is it going? Because I don't
Well,
know that Sierra Leone is operating internal flights right now. I don't know that Sierra Leone has put structures or mechanism in place to operate internal fleets. To say to go from Freetown to Boe, Freetown to Kennemark, Freetown to, I don't know, Kailaon. There is no flights embarking from or to Freetown that will pass safety inspection. Okay, this person they confuse me. I don't think I understand waiting. If you want for call within the next 2 minutes, because we will close the show. If you want for call within the next 2 minutes, please do so and enlighten we about what you need to talk about. But what I would like going forward, what I would like is that maybe there is someone that is here that understand aviation operation, aviation systems, and licensing by the name of Mr. Victor Mengot, right? I believe he was an air traffic controller for over 40 years. He has a lot of not only local but international experiences all over the world. I think we would set up an arrangement because I want to see if this flight actually go take off December, first week December to Gatwick, and the news will go follow that. So after that Gatwick flight day, I go want for maybe let's engage the person of Mr. Mengot for coming at the show and can tell we a little bit because I'm pretty sure he knows about this thing going on and the implications and maybe tell the people a little bit. For me, I just don't want a situation where we all wear black, where we suppose for the like me, so they take me small Baileys, they cut and small, they relax, and while they drink me small ginger beer with me rice bread, just they take it easy while they drink me small pepper soup, just cruising it easy during the festive season. I don't want to make nobody wear black. That's basically what I'm trying to avoid here. And anything where I don't say so far to the person listening, I'm not catching full name, but everything where I don't state so far, please note that I got it from official sources. I not say nothing I so way the people themselves not say whether be it the owner, whether be it from the government when they did their splurge on various platforms, and then people then go and check immediately at the website. And the website was non-functional. Now it is working, however, with limited capacity. The interfacing is not good. If not fail to say a liar, they lie. Una go there, una check and right now. These things are very easy to fact check, people. Una don't need for wait and second guess. Just fact check it. Fact check that when you go into a proper institution or airline that is set up, all of the information the way you go get access to, do you have access to such right now? And if you don't, or if you do not, I not think saying a bad thing for make people in question the legitimacy or the stretch or scope of something that they do not understand. The onus is not upon me, Matilda, to make people understand. The onus is upon the operators and the government, because remember, they don't agree for make a whole sovereignty in name be tagged to that thing. They don't agree for make a whole. Sometimes you people don't know the bigger repercussions of these things. They say Air Sierra Leone, whether it is a private entity or a government entity, the fact that you allow for a logo of a sovereignty to be pinned to that thing, the onus ceases to be just that of the private individual. The onus also by transaction and by law legality also becomes that of the government. Okay? Now, Mr. Jamboria, I don't know if you get anything for say any last word before we left, because I know we'll have to pick this up.
This issue is a very technical issue, but I go assure people say there is a scam involved in it. That particular type of aircraft, they're not going to allow them for run from Africa to Europe. Part of the problem with Jordanian Airlines being get way make them close down, the aircraft with them they use Boeing 707. Because of the fuel we been they use and the pollution. And one of the reasons that's why the British them been raise issues about Jordanian promised to come with a new aircraft, but there were other implications, financing, this and that. So finally, the whole arrangement broke down 1987. Jordanian had to close down. The craft where Jordanian been get to Sierra Leone for run, that be a Boeing 707. We they call her LJ. That time they work na Lunge. The issues there, so when you talk and so people are not going to understand. But these are technical issues where they're not they take joke with. One of the strictest places of transportation are the airline industry. They're not a joke with a lot of things. As far as I see, I don't know if the company gets another aircraft,
No, sir.
but this aircraft when they bring in a salon, now outdated aircraft, and I do have been accident na Murtala Mohammed Airport. So I not see Gatwick they license them or give them permit for land day. I not see that. If they do chartered flight, say okay, we go higher like Virgin Airlines, Richard Branson Airline, or any other airline for go to the passengers, that can work. But that aircraft wouldn't show we. Forget it, Matilda. Now other Lunge Bridge project.
Okay.
Lunge
Your
very
words.
unfortunate. Other than the light.
Your words, not mine. Your words,
It's
not
my
mine.
word. I'll stand by it.
So basically, right now, if you go to the website, no seats available, doesn't give you availability, doesn't tell you a price because of anything. Don't know what's going on. Is it because they sold out? And if even they sold out of their seats, it would say, right, that when you go book, it tell you. So none of them thing and they know they right now. So I'm just saying, people be cautious. Be cautious with your money. Be mindful and be thoughtful in your thinking, and be proactive in your spending, and be safeguarding of your lives. No tata.
So we say make we drive Kushna Salone, but we life them.
That is so right, yeah now. What's if they do, but we bother them, they die. Push on down the hill, now them body just they try. So foot at them body, they and now they just they cry. Now we bother them foot so they swell, now why? I don't know if now the chemical or what's in them they put. Best now for avoid them, nothing but the suit. Other food and they for it, come up billion kush. We say bring this message so you do work for you.
Every day we dey lost it man the life because of push, yeah. Papa government, NGOs not come so we hate, yeah. The way they import goods.